What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. And today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. We're going to break down and recap today's 9th straight victory versus the Cleveland Browns. Houston Texans have won their 9th straight game. Longest win streak, extend the longest win streak in franchise history. Once again, the first team to start off 0-3 and win 8 in a row, now have won 9 in a row. First time in NFL history a team has done that. Houston Texans stay at home and defeat the Cleveland Browns 23-13. And before we get to talk about, today, if everybody's seen the color rush, everybody rocking the color rush. So I got on my color rush hop. The last couple times I wore this, people have asked in the comment section. So I don't know if y'all read, I answered y'all back, but I don't know if y'all replied. I mean, if y'all answered them or seen them. But just to let y'all know, because a lot of people ask me where I got the jersey from, I got it from Lid's Locker Room. Lid's to sell the hats, the fitteds, the snapbacks, all the good fun stuff. They have another store called Lid's Locker Room. Same company, just have bigger selection. They sell jerseys and things like that. That's where I copped this from. So go ahead and copy one. Go on, copy with Deshaun, and copy a Hop, copy a Will Fuller, Lamar Miller, or Justin Reed, because, whoo, Justin Reed, y'all know Honey Badger said this after the pick. He tweeted out, this man need to be rookie of the year, quit playing with him. Should have been a first round pick. That's enough said. I'm like, he said he defended his teammate, but I started looking at some of those numbers. I'm like, he should at least be in the conversation. He should be talked about more. Because, he's either at the top of the list or in the top 5 of rookies and some DBs as far as statistics, like bad passes, tackles, interceptions, defensive touchdowns, and things of that nature. He's a baller. He's a player. But let's talk about and break down the game, because he had a good-ass game today. Let's talk about this game. Like I said, the Houston Texans won 29-13 against the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson was 22 for 31, 224 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, a passer rating 102. Lamar Miller, 19 rushes, 103 yards, no touchdowns, average 4.5 yards a carry. Another good game by him. Hop, 7 catches, 91 yards. Longest reception was 29. And some of those Hop incompletions, Hop was really on, not Hop, but Deshaun was really on those, one of those days that he wasn't going to have that many incompletions. And the only reason why he got a couple of them, kind of them with some throwaways and things like that. Sometimes he should have threw the ball earlier. Got, threw the ball away a little bit sooner, trying to make something out of nothing. And that's what you're going to get with Deshaun. You're going to get that with Deshaun. You're going to get those type of plays from him. You're going to get the type of plays where he hold on to the ball because he's looking to make the big play. He's looking to make the splash play. He's always looking to throw the football. He doesn't want to run. He wants to throw. He only wants to run when he has to. And so that lets him hold on to the ball. And since he's so athletic, he's trying to run away and evade hits. Sometimes he runs into hits. So you're going to get that, especially with this type of offensive line. It's not a strong offensive line to protect them. They're doing better of late. So lately, some of his sacks have been of his own doing, because you just need to get rid of the ball because he's holding on to the ball and trying to make some other plays happen, which you want that to happen. You don't want him to give up on the play because you never know what happened. I just got through watching the tail end of the Dolphins Bill game, and that happened to Josh Allen, who a lot of people, me included, a lot of people in the sauce were like, hey, Josh Allen is probably another Ryan Mallett. He's another Ryan Mallett. Tall guy with a strong arm. I don't see nothing happening. It was the last play of the game. He's running around, and he's the ball to the end zone. It should have been a call for a touchdown. Those are the type of plays that you can get with Deshaun. But also because of those plays, you're subject to get sacks because he's running around too much and runs into a sack. Extend the play too long, he should just get rid of the ball. So, you got to take what you get, like the old basketball quote. You live by 3, you die by 3. You live by those big plays, you're going to end up dying by those big threes. You're going to live from his adolescence, and you're going to die from that adolescence. It's going to hurt you in some stints. So you got to take the good and the bad. As long as it's helping you more than it hurts you, then you should be all right. We did leave some points on the field, especially in the first half. This game, like I said, it was 23 to nothing at halftime. It wasn't even that close. The game really should have probably been maybe at the very least 30 to nothing at halftime, if not 33 to nothing at halftime. We left some points on the board because of that. Letting some clock run out on the 2-minute drill. Some of those things you're gonna get better with more experience, more playing, because Deshaun's going to get to the point that he understands that, hey, everything doesn't have to get the big play. Let me take what I can get. They have to fight another down and kick a field goal here. Or, hey, get this check down right here. We don't have to heave the ball into the end zone right here now. And a lot of I don't know if y'all noticed this. And this is not a Crush Bill O'Brien segment right now. But I don't know if a lot of y'all noticed this. Watching the game, you were watching on the CBS telecast. It was Trent Green and Bruce Arrington calling the game. A lot of stuff that they were saying pre-snap was the exact same way I was feeling. Like, take a shot right here, bam. Do this right here, bam. Do this right here, bam. And we run the football. Again, not to bash. This is not a bash Bill O'Brien segment. But I'm like, damn. What if Bruce Arrington was our coach right now? Because a lot of with him and Trent Green, former quarterback, all-pro quarterback, a lot of stuff that they were saying pre-snap was what I was feeling pre-snap. And we ended up doing something else. And I also think that's that might be a credit to the personnel. You don't have Will Fuller. I think if you had Will Fuller, you take more shots. If you had a better offensive line, you'll take more shots. So it goes both ways. It's not really just all on Bill O'Brien all the time. Sometimes it's what he's working with and what he's missing. Like I said last week, after we went up 21-10. When we got the ball back the next time, if we would have Will Fuller, we would take a shot in that game right then and there. I think the same way here with Will Fuller. You had Will Fuller, you up 20-0. I think you take a shot. You did take some shots, but Hop and Will Fuller not the same guy. And you have a better chance of taking shots with Will Fuller. You seen Will Fuller against his defense last year. Burn him twice. So if you had Will Fuller in this situation, it's probably different. You probably take a shot here, take a shot there. It might be 27-0 at halftime. Now we let Baker Mayfield get over 300 yards. I think he might end up with 400 yards. I haven't checked his stats. They end up getting those last 2 touchdowns in the second half. To be honest, those are gimmies. Because the game wasn't as close as it was. Like that 29-13 score is not the real score. It's not the score that it could have been, should have been. We did take our foot off the gas. I know probably to frustration to a lot of Texan fans. I kind of understood why. You want to just leave this game with a victory, because you could tell that it was that type of game that you were already in control. You controlled the whole game. And to be honest, the person who the Texans should thank is Baker Mayfield. Because this game here had the makings of being one of those quote-unquote trap games. This had everything to do with this being a trap game. You play a divisional opponent on Monday Night Football primetime right after your owner passes away. A team that beat you early in the season. So you weren't going to let it in this primetime game. You're not going to sleep through that game. Then you have a game against the team that's challenging you right now for the division title. That one of the hottest teams in the NFL, the Colts. Andrew Luck playing back. Everybody talking about comeback player of the year. MVP. We're going to talk about that in a little minute. MVP could be the MVP. Now that Drew Brees and lost and blase. You got that game next week. The game in the middle is Cleveland. Right there. Trap game. In between two big games. A primetime division game and probably a game to decide the AFC Championship, the AFC South. Right there in the middle, Cleveland. Had every makings of being a trap game. Coming into the season, I said the Browns would never be a trap game because of Deshaun Watson, because they had a chance to draft him twice, and they didn't. Hugh Jackman told Deshaun Watson that he was going to be a Cleveland Brown. So Deshaun will always try to prove that they made the wrong decision. But the general manager, Sashi Brown, who traded the pick, who passed him up on the first pick and then traded the number 12 pick, no longer employed. Hugh Jackman, the head coach, who passed on him and then traded away the pick, no longer the head coach. So it lost its luster with that. So it still could have ended up being a trap game. But Baker Mayfield, with all his comments about Hugh Jackman, and no matter if you agree with him or not agree with him, the whole level of immaturity of how he was talking and stuff like that, the cockiness that was coming out of him. And I like Baker. Came from Tech. I like Baker. But he kept himself in Cleveland in the media. Cleveland was talked about more in this game, and then everybody was backing him. Oh, he has the highest passer rating behind Drew Brees, and had a lot of attention coming into this game, so you can't sleep through this game now because it's all in your face. Thank you. And I told one of my coworkers at work, I'm not even nervous about this Cleveland Brown game because this has the makings of it being one of those humbling moments. And that's really what it was. I thought that we would probably I thought we'd probably give them like 4-5 sacks or something like that. And we just beat them up. But we picked them off 3 times. Zach Cunningham with a beautiful one-handed pick in for a pick 6. Almost had that pick 2 more times. Because before that pick 6, it was a play he made early, but he batted the ball, but almost had to pick the exact same way. There was another play later on in the game that ended up being a Cleveland Brown completion. But he still almost had that pick. Jonathan Joseph with J-Joe with a typical J-Joe. His pick was a typical J-Joe pick. This is a pick that we've seen J-Joe make hundreds of times in a Texan uniform. Then also Andre Hal, nice pick in the back of the end zone right before halftime to make sure they go into halftime with a big goose egg. And then also the fumble that Justin Reed once again made. Nice play by Justin Reed, the fumble, and picked up by Aaron Colvin. But also back to that was one of the most confusing plays for me because I didn't understand what Colvin was doing. Colvin should either just stood down in the end zone and get the ball back to the 20, or as soon as he got up, it's not college, get up and run. It was like, I don't know if I want to run. Should I run? Let me slide the ball off the Honey Badger. It was like one of those, and the Honey Badger stupidly stepped out. It was one of those stupid plays. And the Texans ended up not getting no points on the drive. And I think we ended up making all the way down to our side of the field. We ended up kicking the field goal, punting. Yeah, I think we ended up punting on that play, punting on that drive. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think Cleveland ended up scoring on the next drive. We did flip the field position, but it could have been so much worse because you could have got hit on the 1, could have been a safety. They got some points and that was one of those situations that should not have been that good. It should not have been that good for Cleveland. We should we should have ran it back and got some more yards or stopped at the 20 and things like that. But it don't matter. 4 turnovers in the game. Defense played well. No, like I said, some of the yardage that Baker got were garbage. A lot of it was, we play a lot of previous defense. Once you go up 23-0, you just don't allow a team in the end zone. That's really what you do. So a lot of the yards that Baker Mayfield got, one of them was on that big play with the fumble, the Cowboy fumble in the end zone. But a lot of that stuff also turned into just, dinking and dunking. We let them go up and down the field, and we stopped them when it was time to stop them. Special teams. This might be a very, very unpopular opinion. I was going to say this last week, and I forgot it slipped my mind when I was making the video. But it was going to be it might be a very, very unpopular opinion. But I actually like that returner, DeAndre Carter. Now I know that he has a fumbling issue because he fumbled twice today. He fumbled on a screen from Deshaun Watson. And he also fumbled on that punt return. But also on that punt return, and I know he fumbled last week against the Titans. Maybe the next return after that, he had a beautiful return. Like he was breaking tackles and made the return. Same thing here. He was breaking some tackles, weaved in, weaved out. He sees more of a special returner, way better than Tyler Irvin was. In my opinion, better than Keyshawn Martin. I never liked the Keyshawn Martin. I didn't understand the draft pick when we drafted him. I take that back. I gave him a benefit of that when we drafted him. Okay, maybe we can use him as a return guy. But nah, after I seen him play, I didn't really like Keyshawn Martin as a returner. I was hopeful for Tyler Irvin. Tyler Irvin never showed me anything. This guy's already in 2 games, 3 games, however many games he's been in. I've already seen enough that I like him as a returner. Now he is gonna have. It seems like he's gonna have one of those. He seems like he's gonna give you a fumble, so you have to be prepared for that. But I do think that he has enough playmaking ability, dynamicness to he has enough dynamics to get out because I would rather see Will Fuller as a returner, but now that Will Fuller has the ACL injury, I don't think Will Fuller will ever return, be a punt or a kickoff returner for the Texans because you're gonna solely use him on the offensive side of the ball. Same thing with Kiki with the hamstring injury. Maybe that's the reason why he wasn't doing returns this year. Cause I thought that was one of the reasons why we drafted Kiki to help battle for the help use him in the return game. But he's been dealing so much with the hamstring injury that who knows? Maybe next year we'll see a different type of play from Kiki. Maybe the hamstring will be fully healthy, hopefully, and maybe we'll see him next year as a returner. But for the most part, I actually like a lot of what DeAndre Carter is doing. Now, the Houston Texans have won their 9th straight game, and like I said in my last video, have aligned themselves and put themselves in position, especially if the Patriots lose to Minnesota later on today, to be the number 2 seed in the AFC. The Texans have a legitimate shot of being the top 2 seed, possibly even the number 1 seed in the AFC, getting home for the advantage, or at least getting a first round bye and putting yourself in the better position to host as many playoff games as you can in NRG. And that's the perfect position that you want to be in, especially when you start from 0-3. And kind of a backward shout out to Nick Wright, because when the Texans and the Giants were playing against each other, both of them 0-2, it was saying that the loser of this game season was over, because no team comes back from 0-3, and they basically going to be playing the rest of their games, just be playing the rest of the games. You might there's no reason to even enjoy the games and just all that. And he held on to that as long as he could. Like, he's been holding on that still, even though the Texans, because he keeps saying, well, even the Texans might make the playoffs, but they're going to be one and done. Like, and he keeps saying now offensive line, and he keeps every time a game happens. And actually, I had a lot of respect for Nick Wright when he was working at 6'10", but he keeps dialing himself back after every Texan win, and just now he gets to the point he's only blaming Bill O'Brien and offensive line. Because before that, it was he made up excuses about every other win, but we kept on winning. And like Chris Carter say, once you start, and I felt this way once you got to 7 wins, once you win 7 in a row, once you start winning 6, 7 games in a row, you can't poo-poo that. And every former player or former coach has the exact same opinion about the Texans. You might say they schedule weak, blase, but once you start winning these many games in a row, you can't deny that. You can't. You really can't. Don't matter if they have coin flip wins, whatever. Once you start winning 6, 7, 8, now 9 games in a row, teams don't just do that on a regular year in and year out basis. Teams don't just walk up and just win 9 straight games in a row. I don't care who you like Chris Carter say. I don't care who you playing. You don't. I can say I played 16 years. I ain't never won 8 games in a row. Like I didn't do that. So how can I sit up here and poo-poo somebody for doing that? You can't. You really can't. You start winning this many games in a row, you can't. And the Colts on their heels. The Colts lost a stink of the day in Jacksonville, only putting up no points. We've been hearing all this talk about Andrew Luck, comeback player of the year, guaranteed, and Andrew Luck, MVP. Patrick Mahomes is on the downswing. Drew Brees then lost to Dallas. He's back on that swing. Luck is climbing back up there. It's like they've been waiting so long for Luck to be good again to hop on the Luck bandwagon. Like I say, no disrespect. I apologize to all the Colts fans because I didn't give Luck the amount of respect that I should have. I thought his arm was weaker. I thought the offensive line wasn't as good. They've been able to protect him. His arm, he looks like the Andrew Luck of 2013, 2014 type Andrew Luck when he was throwing, I think, 43 touchdowns and got the team to the AFC Championship game. But Jacksonville still has that defense. I'm not surprised that Jacksonville actually picked Jacksonville to beat the Colts. Actually did. And I think if the Texans win, if the Texans win and beat the Colts, the Texans, like I said, the Texans win next week, it's over. Bring out the hats, the T-shirts, AFC South Division champions. Win division. It's clinched. Because you'll have 10 wins. They'll have 7 losses. I mean, the best they could be is 9-7. The worst you can be is 10-6. So, you handle your business next week, you win the division, and then it's really focusing on getting to a top 2 seed. And it's really focusing on getting to a top 2 seed. I did expect the pass rush to play better, get to Baker Mayfield more. Like I said, I thought that was going to be the humbling moment. But if you want to sit here and think about it, watching Baker Mayfield is probably just like how other opposing fans watch the Texans. How Baker Mayfield was slipping and sliding and getting out. It was so many sacks, but Baker Mayfield slipped and sliding guys way out of and made the throws downfield. The exact same thing that Deshaun does, except Deshaun actually gets sacked. But the reason why, because the Cleveland offensive line is probably better than the Texans. So you do have that. And then speaking, the first sack of the game, that wasn't a horse collar. Like, I'd never heard of a horse collar in the pocket is okay. Like, I did not know that. As long as I've been watching football, as long as the horse collar call's been in there, I've never heard of that. And I was like, man, that should have been a horse collar tackle. But it is what it is. But Houston Texans won their 9th straight game. They are now 9-3. I think there's a lot of good things going on in Houston. And like I say, also, for people who are worried, I think that we're saving Deshaun more for the playoffs. And I think that once the playoffs start, you're going to see a different type of offense. And actually, it's one of the reasons why I might think that Kiki might not play no more until the last game of the season into the playoffs, because I think that they're going to try to save Kiki as much as they possibly could, because the term that everybody loves to use, film, they got enough film, they don't got enough film, whatever the case may be. They only have one really legit game of film out of Kiki, and that's the game against the Colts, because after that, either Kiki hasn't played or he has played. They were playing with a Deshaun that they were minimizing, only making Deshaun throw the ball 20 times a game, not really throwing the ball. So you really didn't get to see Kiki in its full effect outside the game against Indy. His first game, he got 100 yards. So maybe they're going to try to save him a little bit for this postseason and unleash him in the postseason. Because outside of that, like, I don't see you having a dynamic offense. Without Will Fuller, because you don't have that speed threat no more. So we more of a running offense now that we don't have that deep threat downfield. Also, the tight ends, both Jordan Thomas and Jordan Akins, I really like both of them. Especially Jordan Thomas, where he has his 4th touchdown of the NFL season. That touchdown he made was a nice touchdown, it was a nice, beautiful catch. The Houston Texans are coming right into form right at the right time. And like I said, you can't sneeze and snooze and sleep on 9 straight wins. I mean, I wasn't doing it with 6 and 7, so I damn sure can't do it with 9. And for people who say we ain't played nobody, y'all keep saying that. Y'all keep saying that. Hopefully we keep winning. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I holla.